Multimedia journalists. They gather information, write stories, do broadcasts, and use social media to inform the public about current affairs around the world. They do this by combining text, images, sound, video, and graphics to tell a story. If you become a multimedia journalist, you'll work for a newspaper, radio, or television station or other media outlet. You might also work for an advertising or public relations agency, creating multimedia stories which may appear in some public media. Multimedia journalists do everything to research and create the story, from sampling animations, reading data, logging video clips, conducting interviews, and writing copy. They operate cameras, sound systems, and editing equipment, or direct other technicians who are skilled operators.
When I come in, first thing I do, of course, I log into my computer, load my vehicle with my equipment, my camera, tripod, microphone. Then I go to the assignment desk and see, what the stories they have for me for the day. Go out. Sometimes we have to go to 2 different, maybe even 3 different locations for interviews and B-roll and things like that. Go out, do our interviews, come back, and then log my sound, my interviews, write my story. Executive producer over here, Jason Winkler, usually looks over my packages, looks over the script, makes sure everything's okay, and then I go and I start editing. And usually we have more than one story. Usually I'll have to do a package, which is what I'm doing today, which is usually a minute 30, minute 45, and also usually have a both sides, which is usually like a 45-second story. So usually I have to do 2 stories. It's not just one.
If you'd like to be a multimedia journalist, you'll need to develop a lot of skills. You may have to design websites, write content, answer emails, or update bulletin boards or blogs. You'll need a very high level of communication skill to gather information and investigate leads, read documents, observe events, and interview people. As a journalist, you'll not only tell an interesting story, but your story has to be accurate and truthful. Today's journalists also rely on social media like Twitter and Facebook to study the pulse of the readers who are watching your stories. In a nutshell, multimedia journalists need to communicate ideas clearly no matter what media they're creating. They're good listeners, speakers, and writers with excellent people skills. About 60% of journalists hold a bachelor's degree in journalism.
A 4-year degree, and also I did internships in news stations. I made sure I did one at a small market, a medium market, and also a large market in Detroit, Fox 2 Detroit. I interned there. So you get to see what it's like everywhere. You get to see sometimes you're working somewhere where you don't have a photographer, and then in Detroit, of course they have photographers and everything there. All they had to do was go out, shoot a story, and come back and write it, and they have someone edit it for them, so it's totally different. You get to see what it's like in different, the larger the market gets, you get to see what it's really like.
So in high school, you should take courses that help you prepare for this degree: economics, political science, business, computer applications, public speaking, and writing. If your school offers radio or television courses or produces an in-house news program, volunteer to work and develop your skills. It's also smart to work on your school newspaper or yearbook, where you'll learn how to write and edit stories. So how much money do multimedia journalists make?
In the UP, small market, that was like $179. You're going to make anywhere from, starting off, if you start at a really small market, anywhere from $17,000 to $18,000. I'm just being honest. Okay, in a market like this, you can make anywhere from, I think, 25 to, it depends on if you're an anchor. It can go, who knows, even at a market like this, it could go up to 6 figures, I believe, even this market. But it'll probably start for around 25 if you're a VJ, reporter.
About 19% of news reporters are self-employed, freelancers. Over half of today's journalists work for newspapers, which all develop multimedia content, as well as traditional print editions. These colleges in Ohio offer programs for those interested in multimedia journalism.